What is up, guys? So today I'm doing a review of my setup. I've spent about the last 8 months putting together a home office because I've been working here full time for the last year and a half now. I can't even remember how long COVID's been, but it's been a long time. And I sit at this desk for like 15 hours a day, so I thought I'd splurge. So anyways, let's check out the setup. So this all started about 8 months ago when I decided to get a new PC because I was editing footage for this camera. It's 4K and my old computer was rocking a 3770K and a GTX 560 Ti, so it was garbage. The computer was over 10 years old and I definitely got my money's worth out of it, so I decided to go to Micro Center and splurge. I did what any sensible person would do and impulse bought tons of hardware before researching any of it. I did some research, but I ended up getting a 3950X, 32 gigabytes of the Corsair Dominator RGB RAM, a RX 5700 XT, some Asus motherboard, I can't remember which one it is, and some storage and some other stuff. The best purchase, though, was definitely the Lian Li case. I got this one because I saw it was on sale, and it was only like, I think, $80, so I picked it up. I hate spending a ton of money on a case, but this case is surprisingly amazing to build in for how cheap it was, so definitely recommend that. So after a couple weeks of playing games and stuff on this computer, I felt kind of stupid because I was getting like 200 frames per second on my 1080p monitors that are maybe 15 years old. I had two hands-free 1080p, I think 20-inch monitors that I've had since I got my HP Pavilion. What was it? It was the home media one. It had 512 megabytes of RAM, which was crazy back then. That was great. So these monitors needed to go. So I ended up picking up two new Dell monitors. I cannot remember the product number. I'll put it up here. But they are 1440p, 27-inch, 144 hertz monitors with FreeSync. So I got these because of the FreeSync, and I wanted to try out a higher resolution as well. 1440p at 27 inches is definitely the sweet spot. I've seen 1080p monitors at 27 inches, and I think it's too big for 1080p, guys. So I ended up getting these, and this was the biggest difference I noticed. Honestly, I didn't notice a huge difference between my old computer and my new computer in terms of just browsing, watching YouTube, and normal stuff. There's definitely a difference in editing video and running some of my data science projects that use like 30 gigs of RAM. Because I did originally get 32 gigs of RAM on my desktop, but upgraded to 64 because I was maxing out the RAM and had to swap to the disk for some of my data science projects when I was doing image recognition and feature detection. But now that I have 64, I only max out my RAM sometimes. So if you guys are using really old monitors, I would recommend upgrading your monitors before your PC, as it made a huge difference in working. It made it feel like I was finally in the 21st century. These monitors are really awesome, and they have a really nice resolution. They look great. Color's great. The refresh rate is insane. Everything feels so smooth, so I definitely recommend them. There is one thing that I'm kind of bummed about. I did get a AMD card. I wish I would have waited for an RTX 3080 or something like that, even though I probably never would have been able to get one. But a lot of the things that I use don't have support for GPU acceleration for AMD, like OpenCV and sklearn, which are some Python libraries. That's one thing I kind of am bummed out on. The RX 5700 XT is a great value. You get great frames in games. It does have a lot of issues, though, where you have to go and monkey around with configuration files to get games to run perfect, especially Warzone. But other than that, I think it's definitely worth the price for the card. It runs great and gets good frames. So my Dell monitors do sit on a $50 double monitor arm stand I got from Amazon. It was real cheap. I'll throw a link in there for that too. One thing about this, it's not the best because it's so cheap. So when I'm typing away, the monitor arms do kind of move around since they're not, the very best. But it doesn't bother me at all, and I still really like them. It clears up a ton of space on the desk to put my keyboards and a bunch of other junk. So for my peripherals, I've gotten into the custom keyboard scene. So I have a Tofu, KBD67, and I have a Kara by Ramworks on the way. So I have a couple different boards. Right now I am running my Tofu, which I really like. I use that mostly for gaming, and my KBD67 mostly for programming because of the extra keys on the side. But so far I'm really into custom keyboards, and I need to chill because I've been spending way too much money, but I definitely think they are worth it. Something like the Kara, which is $160 for the kit, doesn't include keycaps or switches, but still, that's a great deal for a full custom board. My mouse is the MX Master 3. I have video on this as well. I love this mouse. It's wireless, gets rid of all that gross clutter, and it's got a bunch of buttons, a bunch of features, and you can change the mapping for pretty much everything. It's a really comfortable mouse too, and I'm trying to move towards wireless. I really do like the ability to move from computer to computer with the Bluetooth toggle on the bottom, so you can sync it to multiple computers and have it connected to 3 at the same time, which is super nice. For my audio, I currently have a Rodecaster Pro with a Shure SM7B. My Shure SM7B runs through a Cloudlifter CL2. I have two SM7Bs because I am going to be starting a podcast soon, guys, so stay tuned for that. That just runs into my Rodecaster. I really like this thing. There's a couple quirks to it that are kind of annoying, especially the headphone amp in it. If you turn your headphones up way high in the Rodecaster, you do get a lot of crackling and weird noises, which is kind of a bummer considering this unit is around $600, so you'd expect it to be flawless. But other than that, it runs great. It can easily drive the Shure SM7Bs. And it's going to be great for when I start podcasting. For headphones, I use my Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs that I've had forever. I actually got a new set because I broke my other set while I was getting on a plane. They must have been smashed in my bag, but the ear cup broke off, which was a huge bummer. I've been using ATH M50Xs for probably 15 years now, and I love them. They're the best headphones for just everyday use and monitoring. They don't have a lot of punch, and they're probably not the best for listening, but I just like them overall. The quality's great, and I love the detachable cable. So I love listening to music, and one of the best parts of my setup are my Klipsch R51 PMs. These are powered bookshelf speakers, and they absolutely rip. They've got so many inputs. It's really awesome. I can have my computer, my TV, and also my phone connected to the speakers just by using the remote. The remote's got a couple switches on it to change your input, but they've got Bluetooth in it, USB and optical, so that's how I hook it up to everything, and they just overall rock. I love these speakers. The only problem is they've got a minimum listening distance of probably like 3 meters, so if you're really close to them, you will notice the hum from the speakers. It doesn't bother me at all because I have them on speaker stands kind of far away from me, and I mostly use them when I'm sitting on the couch listening to music or watching a movie. They're connected to a Klipsch subwoofer. I'm not sure the model. They don't sell it anymore, and I got it on sale because they discontinued the model and only paid about $100, so it was an absolute deal. So I really got the last two things I needed for my setup just recently. For Christmas, I've got this table. This is a Uplift V2. It's the walnut laminate top, and I'll tell you what, guys, this does not look like a laminate. It looks really good. I'm really excited about it. When I got it, I was kind of blown away that it was a laminate top. I mean, you can tell if you look really closely, but the finish on it is super nice. It's a standing desk, which I really like because it gives me the ability to stand up when I'm working and stuff and stretch out my back and my legs. I get really tired of sitting because I have terrible ADHD and I have to be moving at all times. So that really makes it easier for me to stay at my desk and work and be a little bit more productive. The last thing that I got really to finish off my setup is this chair. It is a Herman Miller Embody. It's the Logitech gaming version, so it's got some cool colors and an awesome fabric and design that I really like. It's for gamers, even though it's a normal task chair. This thing was ridiculously expensive, and I really don't know if I can recommend it as of yet, guys. It's comfortable, but it's got some issues with the back where it pushes on my lower spine. I've done tons of adjustments on it, but I can't seem to get it right. The last thing I'm going to talk about is my camera. I have a Nikon Z6 with a 24-70 f2.8. It's the new Z-mount lens. This thing is awesome, super sharp. It doesn't really have any warping problems, no distortion, pretty much no chrome aberrations. It's a beautiful lens, and I can highly recommend it. You know, Nikon is finally in the game for shooting video. It's kind of funny. I've always used Nikon, and I always knew that they couldn't compete. Now they actually can compete with some of these other people like Sony and Canon for video shooting, which is awesome. My light is a Aperture Tri-8. I've had this thing for a while now. I got it for mostly photography and portraiture, which I was doing a lot of, so I needed one light to carry around. Works great with a bounce, and so I can do a one light setup with a reflector, the background, and this light, and have a pretty even lit face for portraits, which is nice. And then I use my AT2020 for filming when I'm filming in this style. It's on a K&M mic stand, but it's really easy to move around, and I can kind of move this all over the place, which is nice. It plugs in via USB. Honestly, the Shure SM7Bs are a pain to move all over the place, so I just leave them on my desk for streaming and leave it at that. But that's my setup, guys. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them below in the comment. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.